Hi everybody, welcome to the Martin County Difference. It is Wednesday, July 5th, and I hope everybody had a good 4th of July. Please start alerting your friends and family. This is a big night because it's a 1-year anniversary. And if you saw the posting, thank you. My guests in the studio are here. And we're going to have a great show. It's all about Healthy Start Coalition, Martin County Healthy Start Coalition, and Tykes and Teens. They have a great collaboration between the two organizations. And I started the show, if you recall, a year ago. So this is a big ta-da! And we have confetti and all. Oh, that's for America. Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, so I hope everybody had a good 4th of July and good Independence Day. And this is my celebration of 1 year. And we have a big announcement at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. It's all about the Jupiter Donuts, if you recall. And you want to make sure you're on and listening and sharing this and liking it and loving it. A little hearts never hurt. We really appreciate it here. And thank you, Lisa Holland, for reacting with a nice heart. And appreciate that. And she says, hi, John.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Lisa. So John Gonzalez is here with me in the studio. He is a friend of mine and a colleague in the real estate business. If you all recall, it's been a year. I've been telling you I'm a realtor. It was Julia Sansevere, the dancing realtor.
Yes, you
now
were.
we have a new incarnation, the male dancing realtor. And so John is a broker at Engel Volkers. Okay, let me get my ears on. Engel Volkers. And can you turn down that? Yeah, thanks. Okay, good. I couldn't hear myself thinking. And we are here tonight to talk about that, about Healthy Start Coalition, and also about Tykes and Teens. And in the studio tonight is Paula Hundt, and she's the Director of Development. Hi, Paula.
Hi, good evening.
And so not too long ago, I had Tykes and Teens in the studio, and it was their 20th anniversary of being in existence. They started in 1996, so they were here last fall, and everyone knows they have the big Festival of the Trees. But what I want to do before we jump into the show is just, we're going to be on the radio in 1 more minute at WSTU.
In 3 seconds.
Oh, in 3 seconds. Okay. Well, never mind then. So I'm going to stop talking while we do the intro. On 1450.
WSTU does not endorse products that may be mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU. It's time now for the Martin County Difference with your host, dancing realtor Julia Sansevere.
Hi everybody, good evening. Julia Sansevere, thank you for joining me in the studio tonight. It is Wednesday, July 5th. It's the day after the 4th of July. I hope everybody had a good time. Saw the fireworks in Stuart last night. We are broadcasting to you from beautiful downtown Stuart, Florida, in Martin County. The Martin County Difference is a radio show with a heart. It is about people making a difference in the community and making this world a better place for all of us. And 1 year ago today, well, tomorrow, but it's really 1 year in time. Yeah. Hi, Frank.
Hey.
Frank's feeling better. He was out last week sick with the laryngitis.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yes.
So about 1 year ago, I started the show to raise money and raise awareness for Healthy Start Coalition for the Dancing with the Martin Stars. And it turned into a thing.
Yeah.
You know, after it was all over with and said and done, I just had so much fun. My broadcasting background kept me interested in doing it some more. And I have a wonderful producer and technical director, my husband, Richard. I couldn't do without him. And I can't do without Frank. He is our audio producer and engineer here. So we're just having a lot of fun and talking to people in the community and appreciating all your likes and loves and shares. And tonight's a big night because we had a contest going on for the month of June. If you recall, the more you liked it and shared it and followed the show, the person who did that the most is going to win a certificate for Jupiter Donuts. And I believe that was dropped off here earlier today. Did you get? Oh, that's what you handed me. That's it. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's right. Okay, I thought that was a bill.
No.
I was like, I'll open it later. Okay, good. So that's the Jupiter
That's
Donuts.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So along with that, I am a realtor. I'm at Coldwell Banker, and I've got my buddy here, John Gonzalez. He's broker at Engel Volkers here in town. And so we'll talk a little bit about real estate, I think, because we like to do that. We like to talk about real estate. The market's pretty good right now, right, John?
It's absolutely phenomenal. It's doing great.
Yeah.
Real happy.
Yeah, and you had a company called Sailfish Realty.
I had Sailfish Realty, and I was approached by a company called Engel Volkers, which is a worldwide international company, and
Yeah.
they asked me to join their franchise, and my partner Eddie and I did all our due diligence and did all our research and really made the decision, and we're very, very happy that we did.
I am so glad you did too. It is a good name, strong name, and I know they're down in Jupiter. Well, they're all over the world, but you know, a couple of people I know were working down there, and we didn't have one in Stuart.
That's correct.
Yeah, so you're it.
And we're it.
Awesome.
We have all of Martin County. We're really excited.
That is really cool.
Yeah, we're based in Hamburg, Germany, which is there's a lot of people with the G20 right now in Hamburg. And, so that office over there is crowded, and we have a big office in New York City as well. So.
Yeah. And Paula Hundt is Development Director for Tykes and Teens. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, you have a lot going on. Tykes and Teens was here in October, and that was right before the Festival of the Trees. Everybody knows who knows anything in Stuart and Martin County, Palm City, this whole area. That's a really fun event that you guys do every year. It's a big fundraiser. And John, you want to tell us how you got involved with Tykes and Teens and how you are involved?
I would love to. I sit on their board of directors and have for, I believe, what, 3 years, Paula? 3 or 4 years?
5.
4? 5? Okay.
Whoa, time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun. When they asked me, I was interested in doing it, and then the more I got to know Tykes and Teens, the more excited I was about their organization. Tykes and Teens helps children from literally infants all the way through high school who have mental illness and substance abuse issues, and provide those services at little or no cost to those people that can't afford it. And quite frankly, mental illness and substance abuse are two subjects which are real important to me and my family. And I got on the board with my eyes partially open, and my eyes are wide open now. It's Jeff Shearer, the CEO of Tykes and Teens, is a phenomenal human being who does a great job running an organization and providing quality services for the children who really, really need our services.
Yeah, there are so many good services, and he was here last time, but I understand he's out of town, so.
He is.
Thank you for standing in, Paula, I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. So it's 501c3, and that is a nonprofit agency, and that's the whole gist of this program, is to spotlight the people who are out there doing so much good for the community, and having volunteers to do it with them. And fundraising is a huge component to keep the wheels turning. So beyond the event in December for the trees, what else do you have going on? Anything, or is it just those donations and they need to go to your website? Obviously, we need to get everybody to go to tykesandteens.org and really look through their programs, but the fundraising, you can make a donation right there, isn't that correct?
Yes, you can. Thank you for putting that forward to everyone. We actually only hold one fundraiser all year, and it is the Festival of Trees and Lights. This year it'll be from November the 26th to December the 2nd, downtown at Flagler Place, where it's been the last 2 years. This is our 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
It started out in the mall, and then it moved to the Cultural Center on East Ocean, and it's been at Flagler Place. This will be now the 3rd year.
That's
so
great location.
It's a week long. There's no admission to get in to see the trees, wreaths, and other items. We do have some ticketed events in the evening. The items that people contribute to us are beyond imagination, with their creativity and their generosity and their enthusiasm. So we think it kicks off the holiday with a nice party atmosphere, but meanwhile serving children and families. And we have added an additional day just for families to come, because some felt that they couldn't get there in the evening when we had ticketed events.
And is that at the beginning or at the end of
That is on Sunday, the 26th.
Okay, so it's going to start on a Sunday.
It will start on a Sunday this year, and we invite all families to come from noon to 5 on that day. And then the final day, actually, we have a wonderful event called Breakfast and Photos with Santa, where Mr. and Mrs. Santa, the most wonderful, of course, the only Mr. and Mrs. Santa.
That's right.
Are at our event, and they have been with us for years, and the photos are free, the breakfast is free. I
Kids
think
love
we've had
them.
about 200 families
Oh.
last year to do that.
Well,
So-
and didn't you raise a whole lot of money last year?
We
like
did.
Around
We-
over 80,000.
We raised $82,000, which was quite stunning, and this year, of course, we're looking for 100,000 because it's our
Yeah.
10th year. And you know, Martin County is such a generous community for all nonprofits. I think we have
They're banging.
experienced.
They're banging.
We have experienced that when one organization does well,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't take away from another organization. It's
No.
like the pie gets bigger.
Right.
And so that's what's really unique about Martin County. We can share enthusiasm about your event and still be enthusiastic about our event as well.
Absolutely, and part of that is that that connection, which I call the Martin County difference, is that we really have an open-hearted community here. You know, just everybody. The more you help, the more you give. The more they want to help, the more you want to give. And it'd be nice if we had some sort of event to, my hat's off. They have it in Palm Beach, and I'm going to look into it. The Hats Off. Have you heard of that?
No.
I saw a commercial today, and I'm going to contact them and see. There's a Hats Off organization, and they salute the 501c3 organizations of Palm Beach County.
Oh, nice.
So kind of like putting forward a hero or somebody
Mhm.
like that. So I think we need to do that for Martin County, because we certainly have our fair share of wonderful people here doing good things. And because it's only going to be 21 years old this year,
Yes.
right? For
And
Tykes and Teens.
what has been most important for us lately is that we have expanded beyond Martin County, and we're now in the 4-county area: Martin, St. Lucie, Indian River, and Okeechobee.
Oh.
And for about 19 years, Jeff Shear resisted because we had such a wonderful network of people here. You could pick up the phone, you could call people who could make a difference,
Mhm.
and establish that in other communities takes some framework and some work to do that. But the request came in from Okeechobee County to duplicate our school services, which we're doing there now. The infant mental health program, which is a program we serve from children 0 to 5,
Mhm.
because they are children who've primarily been removed from their homes by the Department of Juvenile Justice, and we're working to reunite those families through a particular type of child-parent psychotherapy. It's based in the 19th Judicial Circuit, so Jeff didn't feel that he could just ignore the other 3 counties. And I have to tell you, they have embraced infant mental health with more enthusiasm and support than we could ever have imagined.
Mm.
So that's new for us. We're not just Martin County anymore, we're 4-county agency.
I love that. Yeah, because the last time when Jeff was here, you do have your offices. There's the main address on Corporate Parkway in Palm City.
Yes.
Right? And then there was Jensen Beach on Sugar Hill,
Yes.
and there was Hope Sound.
Yes.
Now, are there any other offices, or it's just that your services are going to all 4?
The infant mental health program is an in-home service,
Oh, okay.
so we don't have to really have an office for that. But we do have the Healthy Families contract under Healthy Start in
Mhm.
Indian River County, so we have an
Ooh.
office there as well.
That is fantastic. And so, speaking of Healthy Start, that is why I have John on the show tonight.
Yes, to beg for money.
Yes, because I did it, and you can do it too. Now, how much do you think you're going to raise this year, John? Come on, break my record. I raised over $38,000.
I know you did.
I keep repeating that.
There's been some high bars set. Stacy Hetherington's in my office, so
Oh.
Stacy did just a little more than
She's
you, didn't
32. No,
She's
she-
32?
no, I-
You were the number one?
Yeah, well, Libby actually went over after the event. She beat me by about $840. It's okay, I can let it go.
And 33 cents. No,
yeah,
I'm just-
exactly. It's like, these pennies, they count, folks. But literally, I got $5 donations, $25 ones, a lot of $100 ones, and thanks to John, he was a $100 donor
I
for me.
pushed you
last
right
year.
over the top.
Yes.
That's right.
And I'm going to do the same for you.
God, if I had done 200, you would have won.
See? Almost.
sorry,
No, not
no.
quite. I needed a few more hundred, but that's okay. But I had a good time, and that's the thing. I want to encourage you to just have a good time. I took it probably very seriously, and I mean, you have to take it seriously, but I didn't want to not do it right. That's me,
Right,
We're all that
right.
way, I guess. And so
And I'm beginning to feel that the dancing part is not going to be the strong suit for me, so I'm looking that I definitely have to raise money. Hence, I'm on this show begging for money.
So let's tell people how to do that. they have to go to mchealthystart.org. MC, what?
It's Martin, C for county.
That's right,
Mhm.
healthystart.org. And you look on the tab at the top and you'll find Dancing with the Martin Stars, and you click on that and you will open up all the dancers. I have a couple of friends dancing in this.
We
Rosie
both do.
Shepherd, I know.
Mhm.
It's tough when you know more than one person dancing, but you can actually donate to everybody, because guess what? The babies win.
Well, interesting, Bill West at Molly's house
Yeah.
called me up, and they're going to make a donation to Healthy Start.
Yeah.
And they're going to split it 50-50 between Rosie and I.
There
which
you go.
So it's
That is
that kind of.
fantastic.
So if someone out there wants to make a donation to Healthy Start, which is really what we're doing,
Yeah.
it's not money to me.
No.
It's if they want to make a donation to Healthy Start, and there's more than one person on that list, they can split it up.
That's right.
You know.
And a lot of people did that for me.
Mhm.
I was like, it doesn't have to be a whole lot of money. Just do 25 for her, 25 for me. I had a sponsor last year, a $500 sponsor, and we kind of, Sean Kelly and I got to the person at the same time, and she said, well, I could split it with you. And we're like, done.
Yep,
Do
absolutely.
it. That's it. It's about making the deal, right?
And it's
Get
about
that
making
deal
the
done.
deal. Exactly.
And Katie Foot-Bourgeois says hello to you and me. So hi,
Hey,
Katie.
Katie.
Hi out there. And I know Katie was a big donor for me. She was a $250 sponsor, and I had her on the show. And we thought maybe we would be doing kind of a Hoda Kathy Lee thing there for a while. It was so much fun. Oh, we're getting a lot of likes from, yeah, Katie, bring it on, baby. She's liking it and liking it. Thank you, Katie. I'll have you back. We'll do the Hoda and Kathy Lee things. So we just had a good time, and she loves that idea. So tonight, you're my Regis.
I'll do my best.
No problem. And so, everybody, what's the name of that? mchealthystart.org. And what Healthy Start does is they help babies who are not yet born and who will be born. So their mothers, and they get them into prenatal care, and then they help the mom and the baby until the baby's about 3 years of age. And when it's a little tyke, we take it on over to Tykes and Teens.
Well, hopefully they won't need our
Hopefully they won't need
services.
it. Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Because a healthy baby does not need as much as.
That's correct, and that's part of why the collaboration between Healthy Start and Tykes and Teens is, we know at Tykes and Teens that the healthier the child is at birth, the less likely they will have mental illness or substance abuse issues later in their life.
And I think what's interesting is Healthy Start began in 1991, only 5 years before Tykes and Teens under Governor Lawton Childs. And every woman is eligible for a prenatal screening, whether it's the first visit or
Right.
any consequential visit. And then they're also eligible for a postnatal visit. Everyone, not just people that we think need some particular type of service. It's voluntary, but we encourage everyone to do it because they gather statistics.
Mhm.
But how we end up serving is a case manager through Healthy Start may determine that there's perhaps family issues. The maternity process can be so stressful, and whether that's physical or financial, whatever that brings on the family. So we're dealing with mothers before the child is
Yeah.
born and after. And typically we can have about 8 to 12 visits post and after. And we're also dealing with postpartum, and that's an important thing, not only for mothers, but we used to deal with it with the fathers too.
Really?
We don't have the opportunity to do that anymore, but that's a significant part of the development of that family. When that infant comes, it changes the whole dynamics
Sure.
of that.
Right.
So we see them until, like, we could go up to age 3, but under the funding, we get about 8 to 12 visits.
Well, real quickly, I just want to say hi to somebody in Cuba.
Wow.
I spoke to her this weekend, over 4th of July weekend, and I had met her in February. The only 2 times I had to miss a show here in 1 year of time was Hurricane Matthew. Frank said, no, there'll not be a show tonight. We're waiting for a hurricane, Julia. I'm like, oh, okay. And then the other time was I was in Cuba, and I've just gotten a hello from Yenny. Also known as Jenny in English, but Yenya Infante. Hello, how are you? We had a nice chat on WhatsApp this weekend, and she.
What's that?
WhatsApp. What's up, Frank? Yeah. And so I want to say hi, thank you. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining us. They do have internet down there. But it's rare. It's in the parks, and so she was in a park, and we had met on my tour. We were on a cultural people-to-people tour, and she was one of the most brilliant women I've ever met. So educated, and she teaches English at the college level, and so outgoing. And that
She must be spectacular because she follows you on Facebook. So
That's right. Thanks, John.
She has
There you go.
good choice in friends.
Good.
Explains it all.
Explains it all,
Yeah.
right. No, but she's really an entrepreneurial spirit, and she's going to open her own travel agency. So things have been moving along down in Cuba. It's just very interesting for me to get to know her and her family and her history, and so that's awesome. So thanks for tuning in. And my mom in Texas. My mom is tuning in. I told her to tune in, and she did. So
Good for
thanks,
her.
Mom. Hi, Mary Clegg. So if you've got friends out there who are listening right now on the radio or are on the internet, WSTUTV.com, tell them to turn on Facebook if they've got it, and you can make a comment, ask John a question, ask Paula a question, and we have good interchange between the audience. We've had some really good dialogue in the last couple of weeks. We've had some good shows. And before I forget, I do want to say July 14th, we had Elevate Hope on. They're wonderful. And they're having a fundraiser at the Dolphin Bar on July 14th. I just wanted to mention that because we forgot to mention that the last time. But some of the programs I want to get right into, you've had this whole thing going on for the month of June, Balance Challenge. Tell us about that.
Well, mental health, we think, and physical health are so intricately entwined that when I say, how are you, most people think you're just inquiring about their physical health. And you say, oh, I'm well today, or I'm good today, whatever. But really, you're talking in broader terms than that. But we all need balance, because mental health is how we approach what comes to us each day. What bothers you may not bother me. What bothers me may not bother you. And the mental health part of it is 99% of the continuum of our behavior and our adaptation and resiliency. Mental illness is about 1% of that, and the mental health part is a much larger part. And every one of us has mental health. So balance. So Jeff Shearer could ride a unicycle. So the idea, which was created by Lauren Espedia, who does our PR and our communications and marketing, said we need to have a balance challenge. One of the things that Tykes and Teens does in the community is a lot of prevention services. That's one of our largest programs that we offer in the community. So being preventative, stepping out there was kind of a fun thing to do. So we challenged some other CEOs of other nonprofits to also show a balance. If you go to yoga, do a treat position. If you do something else, do something else. And so it's just to bring awareness that we get caught up and we all need balance. Sometimes we don't have it.
That sounds great, and you had people posting, the photo and the hashtag. And I did notice on your website you have the Facebook Live, so every other Thursday.
Every other Thursday. We found that it started with a concern among a lot of mothers in our community about a particular Netflix video that was on for 13 episodes of the 13 Reasons, a book that was written, and it caused a lot of concern. It was based around the topic of suicide and was causing a lot of concern among kids. And the series was pretty graphic. So we took that as our first live Facebook, and it was very popular, and so now we're doing it every other Thursday. A number of different topics. So we encourage people, if they have topics they want us to cover, please go on and suggest them. We're more than happy to do that.
That's great. That's from 12:30 to 1 Eastern Time. And your next one coming up is July 6th.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Supporting transgender youth.
Yes.
Very interesting. And you have a whole LGBT support group as well.
We
And
do.
That happens on a regular basis, right?
Yes, and that's another one of the prevention issues, because children don't have a good outlet to turn as they explore those issues, which can be so very, very stressful.
Yes, and I think it's really timely that now this is starting to be more spoken about. It's like you wonder, back in the olden days, well, they just put it literally in the closet and didn't bring it out and talk about it. It was one of the taboo things, and a lot of topics are like that. So I think it's wonderful that we are actually exploring things such as mental health, which was also taboo.
Absolutely.
And that, like you said, what happens to one person doesn't faze them, but another person, it's the snap, it's the point at which they break. the camel's back straw thing.
The Facebook Live was originally aimed towards a lot of parents who were terribly concerned over, should my child watch this series?
Mhm.
Should I watch it with them? Should I stop them from watching it? But we found that it has not only taken on parents, but occasionally, we get some children to post on it too.
Mm.
And I think you raise an issue that we would say for all, for Healthy Start, helping babies is a picture in our minds that we can just tearful and be joyful, and we know that we have some kind of warm, fuzzy feeling about it. Addressing mental health, even though it's becoming more important, there's still stigma and shame.
Mhm.
And our wish would be to eliminate that stigma and shame, just as we've said. If your child breaks an arm, you don't hesitate to take them to get that arm fixed.
Right.
Now, that arm would heal if you didn't take them to get it fixed, but maybe not well. And
No.
the same thing with mental health.
And if you didn't take the child to the doctor to fix the arm, you'd be accused of child abuse and neglect.
And so just having the ability, if I know that you think taking a child to mental health services is good, then I'm more likely to think, well, Julia does that, I guess it's okay.
Mhm.
John does that, I guess
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah. And the thing about raising teenagers is it's like climbing a mountain barefoot. There is no handbook usually, and you do what other people do or what your mom did or your sister, and you do need professional, I think, advice and help. I know many, many times people say, I don't know, I'm pulling my hair out, my kids are driving me crazy. Already I had a friend who, hers are little, they're not even teenagers yet. She's like, I can't wait till school starts.
Yes.
So, and the other thing is the adoptive parenting group. You've got so many wonderful groups and things going on the website. So tell us about that. That's because not everybody is, born of natural parents, but we do have parenting skills which are necessary. So, my goodness, I mean, the baby doesn't come with a handbook,
Right. And it's funny, we don't have to have a license or certificate to have children, but we
No.
do for other things.
Yes.
But when you're adopting a child, and you're, again, changing the whole dynamic of the family. If there's already children in the home,
Yeah.
there's another person to be attended to,
Right.
splitting those devotions and emotions and all of that time. Also for parents, while it should be a joyful and exciting time, sometimes it comes with stresses because not every child who's adopted is a child who's easy to handle and
Right,
manage.
right.
And of course, one of the trends that we're seeing is that we have a lot of grandparents who are having to step in and take over for their grandchildren, and maybe even to the point of adopting those children, especially if rights have been terminated by the parents.
Mhm.
But for example, a grandparent who said, oh, my kids, I'm happy to have them grown now. I can be the spoiling grandparent who does all the wonderful things. But suddenly, it's that grandparent who's saying, did you do your homework? It's time to go to bed. No, you can't go to that party. Put your cell phone down, and so forth. And that's with adoptive parents or any parent, is being able to navigate the lines of providing good quality support to raise children and keep your family in that balance where everyone feels that they get the amount of attention that they need.
Yeah, because sibling rivalry is one thing when you've got natural born sisters and brothers, Imagine it's like having, anything come into your territory, and that demand for attention is now, off you, and you're sharing that. So, I mean, I know when I was born, I was the fourth of 4 girls. And I heard about it later that my sister, who was number 3, stood up in her crib and yelled when I was brought in the room. Like, she's still yelling. No, we get along great. We get along great. Hi, Catherine.
And you know what? I think somewhere along the way, those children who are adopted, when and if they learn that they have been adopted, there are a number of ways to try to address that. We chose you. We selected you.
Yeah.
We could or we couldn't have had children. And then there's a time when perhaps that child wants to seek out their biological parent. And that's another issue for the adopted parents.
Yeah.
That we try to navigate that. It doesn't mean your child loves you less.
No.
It doesn't mean you haven't been a wonderful parent. It's a curiosity.
It really is. And I think, is there a trend?
It's that desire to make those connections.
Yeah, where
right?
did I come
I mean,
from?
why do people do the genealogy research?
Yes.
It's the same thing.
It is. It really is. And then you can track your family history, your medical history. All those things, I think, are an important element of not just knowing why you have blonde hair and blue eyes or whatever, but, you know, truly derivative of all your ancestry, you know, and, you know, it's amazing the people on, there's a commercial on Ancestry.com that shows different people of all different racial backgrounds, and they're standing there at the Declaration of Independence.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that recently.
Isn't that great?
Yes, it is, really.
So, yeah, you know.
They were
we
all
are,
descendants of the signers.
Yeah,
Yes,
right,
yeah.
and we all truly are American.
I
and-
could have been in that picture.
Really? Who?
Benjamin Rush from Pennsylvania and William
Okay.
Stockton from New Jersey.
Well, we'll have to call casting.
Great
Get you in there.
grandparents.
That's so cool, John.
Mhm.
Well, you're a native of Florida here.
I'm a 7th generation Floridian.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now that is rare.
And I was thinking when your friend was, my family came from Spain to Cuba, Cuba to New Orleans, New Orleans to Pensacola, Florida in 1750.
Whoa.
So we technically came over from Cuba for, you know,
For a little bit. Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool.
yeah.
And
But Cuba was the Atlanta airport of the
Yeah.
old world. So.
Yeah.
that's amazing. Yeah, I guess a lot of people probably stepped across, you know,
Yeah.
tiptoed that way.
And when it comes to mental health, something I never told Paula, since you asked me a little bit about my family,
Mhm.
my father was actually on the Florida State Board of Mental Health back in the 60s,
Ah.
and ended up on the National Board of Mental Health back in the 70s. So it's
How
it's
about
been a
that?
family
Calling.
philanthropy
Yeah.
or calling
Yeah.
Ever since I was a kid. So
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, and you served on the South Florida Behavioral Network.
I did. That's
That's
sort of how I ended up meeting you guys. Mhm.
Well, actually, John and I have known each other
Well, yeah,
since
of course.
another career.
Yeah.
And what would
Um,
that be?
We were in banking.
In
Yeah.
banking. Okay.
Yep.
And
I was gonna say it wasn't Dancing with the Stars, was it?
no,
No.
well, speaking of which, I'm
Yes.
begging
Yeah,
for
so
money.
that's why
Yes.
we're here.
We're begging
That's
for
why
John.
we're here.
That's why I'm here. One of the things I wanted to say is,
Yeah.
one of the things we're doing for Dancing with the Stars at Engel Volkers is we actually have in our office at 600 East Ocean, we have a collection for diapers.
Oh.
Healthy Start is asking for anyone that wants to donate diapers to donate it a lot of different places, and it's online. If you go
Okay.
to mchealthystart.org, you can find all the places, but my office at 600 East Ocean, we have
Yeah.
a collection center for diapers for children that would go straight to Healthy Start. So.
That's fantastic. Well, the diaper bank is something that I was
Mhm.
introduced to last year. And it really does look like a bank with
What a
stacked.
cool picture. That is a great
Yeah, the
image.
picture I
Yeah.
took.
Yeah.
And I was in there one morning, they gave us a tour, and all these diapers were stacked on the tables, and it literally looked like money because they're green
Mhm.
colored diapers. And I'm like, well, that is money.
That's right.
It takes a lot of money to buy diapers, so that's one of the things that Healthy Start does, is assist with providing diapers when you run low.
I
You get-
never had children, so I never realized how expensive
Ooh.
diapers are.
Yeah,
My goodness.
right.
It's-
And they're disposable.
I don't know how people do it.
They're throwing money away, basically, and then it's dirty money after that.
Real dirty money. When I was a little kid, they had the cloth diapers and the
Yeah.
pins, and yeah, I'm a little older than some kids, but
But that was so much fun, and I had a guessing contest, like how many diapers are on this table. Do you know that my mother guessed it? She
Wow.
came closest.
How many?
She came within 5. There were actually 1,935 diapers on the table, because Lisa Holland and I counted them, and she guessed 1942.
speaking of Lisa Holland, I know she's following you.
She is. She's
the
saying,
one
hey.
that wrote me into this. So
Yeah.
I
Thanks,
haven't,
Lisa.
I haven't decided
Yeah.
whether to thank her or get her later.
Yeah, well, a little of both. But Lisa did it. She was in the very first
Yeah.
cast. And I was like, well, okay, you did it. And then she started naming all these other people. I'm like, well, okay. And the sheriff did it. So, my goodness, if it's good enough for the sheriff.
Steve Layton did it, I think,
Steve
too.
Layton did it. Okay, so a lot of people have done it. And a friend of mine, was it Liz, the photographer?
Liz
McKinley.
McKinley.
Yeah, she did it. Yep, that's right. So, it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a challenge.
We should tell people that Dancing with the Stars is there's 8 dancers.
Yes, let's tell them about
And
it.
they're
Go ahead.
all paired with a professional dance instructor.
Right.
My instructor is Marinella Tabor, and
You are-
she's at Craig's Dance
And
Studio.
you are so lucky to
I've
have
heard
her.
that I've got the best.
She is a hotsy totsy.
And she, She's a great dancer.
And she's that too.
I think she's a little concerned of what she got stuck with, but we'll worry about that.
She will make you look good.
But I'm doing the Argentinian tango with a little bit of
I'm so jealous.
rumba in it.
Oh, I'm so jealous. That would
well,
be a
don't-
fun
Spanish
dance to do.
roots, that should be.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Pretend you're from Cuba.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know, I did the Latin Hustle, which I had never even heard of last year at this time of year. But we came through it. But the tango, oh my goodness, that's such a romantic.
I just wanted to do the box step, you know. Just
Yeah. Well,
1, 2,
tango
3,
is-
4, over and
1, 2.
over and over again. But,
Yeah, well, you're going to have a good time, and she will make you shine. I know she will, because she's a very, very, very good dancer.
And then we're going to have an event at the Lyric Theater on September 23rd.
Right, September 23rd. It's a one night only, so it's just like the TV show, but one night only. And you vote that night.
Right, and there are tickets
But-
on sale
yes.
at the Lyric Theater.
Right.
And if you're listening today and you're going to buy a ticket, you can go to a drop-down box
Right.
that has my name on it, none of the other dancers' names.
That's
It has
right.
my name on it. And
John
if-
Gonzalez.
If you buy a ticket, I get credited for that at the in my fundraising goal. So-
Yes, and that's the whole point, is that when I would try to explain it to people last year, like, you're gonna vote for me to win, and they're like, okay, great, and I'm like, okay, every time you vote, it's $1. So vote often. It's one election you can vote often in, and vote lots.
Yeah,
and
vote early, vote often. That's what
early
they say
and
in
often.
Chicago.
That's
So
right.
I was going to say, it's just like in Chicago.
Every day. And so you can vote over and over and again. And so it all adds up. But the thing is, $100 gets you a notification in the program that you were a friend of Dancing with the Martin Stars, and that's a popular one, $100.
Right.
If every person would give $100, oh boy, we'd raise a lot of money this year, wouldn't we?
True.
So there's a $250 level for an ad in the program, but the real sponsorships, where you get tickets and you get a lot of notoriety, starts at the $500 level, and that's the salsa level.
Mhm.
And that's where a lot of people did it. That's a real good bang for your buck. You
I've
get
got one
2
of those
tickets.
so far.
Alrighty. And you get 2 tickets, and you get your name on the sponsor page of the program, and you get this cocktail party, which is really nice, right before the event, and only the sponsors are invited to go to that. And it's a very elite group, so it's really nice, and it's exclusive only to the sponsors. And the next level up is $1,000. I was able to secure a couple of those, but beyond that, I was
I've
not
got-
able to get anything else.
I've got 2 of those so far.
What? You're gonna win.
One of them is anonymous, and one of them is Pineapple Place with John and Laura Layton. So.
Wow, that's awesome,
Yep.
John. Oh, that is really, really good. Because the next thing up is a $2,500 level, the swing level, and then the number one is $5,000 level. And so there was only one person who had that last year, and it's wonderful if you can get a corporate sponsor.
So if any of my friends out there want to do a $5,000 tango level, please just give me
Yeah.
a call.
And you get 8 tickets, right?
Yes, and my dying love and
Wait.
devotion forever.
Not 8. Hold on, I can't read.
Um,
Box seats, up to 6 people.
there you go.
There you go. So that's pretty good. You get great, great seats. I thought that ampersand was an 8. I need
Ah.
new glasses.
Don't we all?
Don't we all?
Well, the event always sells out.
Well, it's,
That's
oh
the
yeah,
thing.
it's
sells
a
out.
So
huge.
buy your
Yeah,
tickets
you gotta
now.
get tickets now.
Yeah,
So that's what you see.
Tickets went on sale
Already?
July 2nd.
Okay, so here's the thing, folks. If you secure your tickets through a sponsorship, you get a lot of bang for your buck, and
Correct.
then you know you have great seats. And they usually try to put you in a good section where you're with, the
The
other
whole
John
middle
fans.
section's blocked out for sponsors. now.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes. And it's just a lot of fun, and it really is like a night at the theater, but even more so, more fun, because you know all the people in the show.
And just so you know, the date's not planned yet, but I am going to have a fundraising event
Okay.
that will involve raising money. It'll be at a good friend of mine's home, and it's going to be themed around the Florida Gators football games.
Ah.
So if you're a Gator fan, because that's my team of choice, if you're a Gator fan, there will be a fundraising party, and we will accept Seminoles and Hurricanes at that party as well.
Sounds
As
good.
long as they have a check.
Yeah.
Aw. Well, that's great. Well, don't forget, this is something that John's going to be working on all summer,
Mhm.
so I cannot wait. I am going to be there,
You
for
better
sure.
be.
Oh, I'm going to
Do
be
you have
there.
your tickets yet?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I have my tickets, and I'm going to be there because I'm so glad I can be in the audience this time.
Okay.
The
Now,
big
you're
relief.
gonna bring your trophy with you.
Oh, you missed it. They
Yeah.
came last 2 weeks ago, was it?
Yes.
Sweet Aubrey
Yeah.
Campbell. She gave me the runner-up.
She's awesome,
trophy.
isn't she?
Yes, she is. Aubrey Campbell, if you're out there listening, and you better be, thank you very much. That was very sweet of
Is
you.
there
Awesome.
anything that you should warn me about, or anything that I should know? I mean,
Be prepared to have a good time.
Yeah, there you
Okay,
go.
thanks,
And be careful not to drop anything on your toe 2 weeks before the
oh,
event.
that's right. I sort of remember that.
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I had like a big broken toe, and it carried me right through to the show. And then he's like, "How did you dance?" I said, "I stuffed my foot in my shoe, and I smiled and went on out there."
I haven't bought my shoes yet. I understand I'm supposed to buy really good shoes.
Yes.
Yes, some beautiful silvery, black.
Tango shoes.
Yeah, very nice. Very
Something
nice.
that, glitters, right? Shimmers.
Oh, and Alice Luckhart
I don't
says,
do glittered shoes very well, Frank. That's,
Glitter shoes. But I did buy some shoes to dance in, and they weren't like the most. They weren't the sexiest thing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And Elliot looked at. I walked in and went, "What are those?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "They're dancing shoes." And he goes, "Mm-mm.
No.
No, those are rehearsal shoes." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I went back to the store, and once I knew what I was wearing.
See, you really need to go shoe shopping with the dance
Yeah.
instructor because they know what's going to work best, especially for the type of dance that you're going to perform.
Totally.
that's a good idea,
totally.
Frank.
Right.
Thanks. I'll
Yeah.
mention that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
There you go. And so we did go up to the dance store up in Jensen Beach, and she
Mhm.
was very nice, Jan's, and that was really great. So we've got some good people on tonight. Lisa Holland, she's saying we're all great, love the chemistry. Woo!
Thanks, Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa. And John loves you. He's just kidding with you.
I've known her a long time. We met when she first moved to town, so
Oh my goodness.
we've
Not-
known each other a long
all
time.
right, there you go. And tell us a little bit more about you too, Paula. Where did you grow up?
Actually, I grew up in Ohio and then lived in Texas.
Oh, I'm from
Ar-
Texas.
I know. I was in Houston as well.
Ah.
And then came to Florida and lived in Jacksonville, Boca, Wellington for 8 years, and then have been here for 21 years.
Oh my goodness.
She was with a company called Barnett Bank, which no one's ever heard of anymore.
Which became Nations Bank, which became Bank of America. So I
Ah.
retired from there almost 10 years ago.
Wow.
And this is my post-retirement job at Tykes and Teens.
Isn't that funny? Everybody has like a third career
Yeah.
in Florida. It's like-
Yes, exactly. And I actually started out in social work and sociology and took a 30-year detour into
Wow.
banking and finance through Merrill Lynch, which, again, I went over to the bank side
Yeah.
for the last 17 years, but it ended up being Merrill Lynch at Bank of America anyhow. But
Okay. Well, and that's how you have so much good experience and expertise and knowledge for development.
I think I've always been asking for money.
Yeah.
Now I'm asking for a particular purpose that was a little less tangible when you're investing in the stock market.
Yeah, yeah. But that's great. And some of the other programs I wanted to touch on, SAFE, S-A-F-E, sounds intriguing. It is sexual abuse family education for the family who has a child who has had a problem being sexually molested or.
We changed the name because it used to be the non-offending parent group,
Mhm.
which that in itself is a name that conjures up some images. But there's a lot that goes on when sexual abuse occurs in the home. Sometimes the non-offending parent is aware, sometimes they're in denial, sometimes they're not aware, but then there comes a lot of baggage with the ability to protect your child, whether you knew or didn't know or
Yeah.
overlooked the signs or ignored the signs, and that happens. And so then also other children and family members are involved. So we changed the name to a more friendly type of name. But that's exactly what it was, helping families who have, and there's quite a lot of sexual abuse. It's staggering how much there is.
Well, that and the abuse leads to other things, which is so sad, but it doesn't, and gosh, I guess the source and why is anybody's guess, but, drugs plays a lot of havoc on families, and especially the opioid crisis right now.
Absolutely.
And that, painkillers, that's all they are. It's prescribed. It's unbelievable.
Well, Frank, you said it earlier, connections.
Yeah.
We think that part of the resiliency, and it was interesting, we just saw a study on this the other day, it was done with rats. If you had a rat that was in a cage by itself and it had two choices. It took the heroin choice every time until it died. When you put the rat in the rat park with other people and they could do all kinds of things, including having intimacy and so forth, the rats hardly ever went to the heroin. The connection with that and the type of issue we had was in Vietnam for a lot of our soldiers who were in a foreign land, didn't want to be there, were about to be killed or had to be killed, something else. And so heroin was an issue there. When they returned to the United States, 95% of them did not continue the drugs because they had a connection. And so mental health in so many areas can be much less severe than it is if you have connections. People want to be connected, even if it's bad behavior. When you find someone, if you're out on the outskirts, here in our community, if you're on the outs, you're kind of on the outs. If you're in the large city, you're going to find another out person just like you. But it is about making connections. That's what holds us together.
That is beautifully and well said.
Yes,
That is so
very
true.
eloquent.
Because that really is, I think, what we all seek. You know, I want to make a difference, and so I connect to people to do that. You know, John and I, not to bring it down to, you know, basics, but what we do, we think we do help people. We connect with people in real estate. So, you know, a little bit of business on the side there, but it really is about helping those people through an important transition. I think it makes us feel good when we're successful at that. I know I do.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
And your buyers and sellers have to be happy with what you do for them. It is such a
Yeah,
a
that's
what- absolutely.
I mean, you all receive calls. I don't know how many hours of the day, but you receive calls at all kinds of hours
Yes.
and days, and
Yes.
your lives are really their lives.
Right, I know. It's so funny when people say, I want to do real estate because you're your own boss. I'm like, no, you got a lot of bosses. Every buyer and every seller is your boss. And that's okay, you know. Oh, Aubrey Campbell joined. Hi, everyone. Hi, Aubrey. And so thanks for joining, Aubrey. We're having a great show. We're talking about mchealthystart.org. Vote for John Gonzalez as a dancer this year. The event is coming up on September 23rd. And MC Martin County Healthy Start is a wonderful organization that helps little babies be born healthy in Martin County. And the other aspect of that is when they grow up, if they still need a little help, they can go on over to Tykes and Teens. And Paula Hundt is here with us tonight from Tykes and Teens, which is a wonderful organization that really does assist with mental health more than anything, and all kinds of reasons and things to tap into. I mean, there's bullying. Oh, that's a big one.
Bullying, anger management, there's self-harm. There are issues with healthy teen dating.
Yes, all of that, and overeating. I noticed another one you have, HOPE, health over problem eating,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, and the whole, you know, when I grew up as a young girl, Twiggy was it, you know.
Yes.
So more than the mirror, you have this education for young people about their self-image. Right?
Yes, eating disorders are, especially in girls, can be the #1 cause of death in teenage girls. And it often starts and then manifests itself later in life. But there's so much pressure to fit a certain body image. And if you've seen the poster, it's a slender girl who looks in the mirror, but she doesn't see that slender girl. And it's funny because an eating disorder is not about the food. It is about the mental health. It's about the messages that are coming into our minds.
Madison Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you, Madison Avenue. And all the fashion designers, you know, where it's a fight and a struggle to get to have the normal-sized woman be represented, because you know we're not all Twiggy. Not only 1% maybe of the population. Those are those tall, statuesque models, and they're airbrushed. You know, and I like that a couple of them, you know, Jamie Lee Curtis is an actress. She put herself out there as like, this is what I really look like, when she was about 40 or so. And I was like, gosh, that's amazing. You know, that's great, because it's hard to be perfect. There is no way to be perfect in this world. And if you know that, just like you said, connections, if you know that person really isn't that it's, if they show the before and after airbrushing photo, you know, that makes you feel a little better at least, you know.
The training for the eating disorder is very, very long, intensive, and expensive, and we didn't have opportunities to provide that here except under private services. So we were sending children to other counties to be served. So we have 2 therapists who've gone through and will go through extensive training for several years under the supervision of another individual to provide that to our community.
Okay. Well, we just have a few minutes left on the air. I want to thank Paula from Tykes and Teens. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having
coming.
me.
Absolutely. And John Gonzalez from Engel Volkers, right downtown Stuart, and for being one of the dancers in Martin County, Dancing with the Martin Stars with Healthy Start Coalition, where I began.
And we're collecting diapers.
And we're collecting diapers, right. It's 600 Southeast Ocean.
Correct.
Just outside
Brand
of
new
downtown,
building.
brand new building. I drove by, it looks very nice, very nice. And that's at Engel and Volkers, and John's the broker there. And so he's gonna be Twinkle Toes come September 23rd. And so you wanna make sure to go to mchealthystart.org and vote for John. But you can also vote for Rosie. Sorry, John.
That's okay.
Vote for anybody. It's all money going to the babies. But
Correct.
tonight, John's the star.
Thank you.
And I want you to really help him do well, because the score for your dance that night is added to the score you get for the fundraising.
Correct.
And that's how the winner is determined. So we're pushing for those dollars. And then it's up to you how you dance.
Thank you. I'll do my best.
I know you will. I also just want to say a shout out to the people out there that have their houses listed. I want you, the buyers out there, if you're interested in a waterfront house, I've got one of those. And I've got a house in Palm City and Lighthouse Point with a pool, beautiful home. So you can go to juliasansevere.com. That's my website. And Stacy Hetherington just tagged on. Hello, Stacy.
Where's she been?
I don't know. And Terry Mulca's been on. That's great. So hi, Terry. Oh, and we have a thing. Oh my gosh, Terry, thank you. I just remembered. Jupiter Donuts. That was the promise. And so I said at the end of the show I would announce the winner. For whoever liked it and shared it the most, in the month of June, we were having a special with Audie Stewart and with Terry Mulca. And so, Lori Dubay, thank you very much. You get a $15 certificate to Jupiter Donuts. It was a tight race. There was one other person who was really in contention, but Lori, you did the most, so thank you very much. And everybody else out there, please continue to like it and share. We'll have some more fun contests coming up in July. See you next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. on the Martin County Difference. Thanks, John. Thanks, Paula.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much,
Thanks, Frank.
Julia.
Thanks, audience.
Thanks, Frank.
You want to stay on Facebook?
Okay. Oh,
Julia?
we got some likes and loves at the end. Yeah.
Cut this?
Oh, yeah. Let me, I'll come over and do it. Thanks, guys.
How do I
Thank
get
you.
on Facebook Live?
Oh, you just go to the page.
Yeah.